talking Kylian Mbappé, because that's kind of the big news that broke yesterday. He announced, and so did Madrid, that he will be a Real Madrid player. It's obviously the worst kept secret from this entire, not only year, but 2 years. The fact that he gets to go, though, to Real Madrid for free is sensational work by Florentino Perez and the people calling the shots at Real Madrid. Nige, I'm trying to analyze this situation a little bit. Do you think it's more that Madrid need Mbappé or that Mbappé needs Real Madrid?
It's both. I feel for me, when you look at it, you look at the history of Real Madrid, they've had world-class players. All the greats that we could talk about, they've always ended up at Real Madrid. It's something that the club has done historically. Kylian Mbappé is just another one on the line. When you talk about some of the greats that have played the game that we love, the Ronaldo, Raul, you've had Luis Figo, you've had some top Ronaldo, recent Ronaldo. You've had so many top players. This is just another one on the line, and it goes with history of winning, branding that comes with it. And when you see that Real Madrid badge, how everyone identifies and knows it's Real Madrid, it's something that's been done for such a long time historically by getting the best players in the world, winning La Liga titles, and winning the Champions League, the 15th Champions League. So that, for me, is just something that's not new. It's not a surprise. It is what it is.
And just to build off that, I mean, World Player of the Year, Kaká goes from Milan to Madrid, right? You think about Luis Figo, again, Barcelona, Madrid, and he was up for World Player of the Year, right? So I think Mbappé needed Madrid to get put into that category of, if I win with Madrid and win a Champions League, Ballon d'Or is mine. And I think for Real Madrid, it's along the same lines. We take the best players. They don't need Mbappé for the performance part. They just won the Champions League without Mbappé. But they need Mbappé to continue to fuel the best players come to Madrid.
Yeah.
And that's the attraction. That's the top of the mountain. If you can play for Real Madrid, that's the best club that you can possibly play for. Therefore, all the best players in the world want to play for Madrid.
It's the Mount Olympus of football, right, where Kylian Mbappé is going. What type of shock waves does this send throughout Europe? It feels like it's a once in a generation, like when Ronaldo went from Manchester United to Madrid. Similarly, Kylian Mbappé going to Madrid.
Yeah, I don't think the shock wave is going to be hitting as hard as it would normally, because we've seen this coming for such a long time. But it does. It just continues this aura that Real Madrid has. And, you know, every top player wants to play there. Every top player continues to build their brand because they're at the best club in the world, that many feel at least. And you want to see him then play with these players, which he hasn't had the opportunity. Certainly, PSG had the talent, right? I mean, when Neymar was there and Messi was there. But now you're going to a place that has already been to the pinnacle and has stayed at the top for such a long period of time. You wonder how much his game is going to improve and how he's going to adapt to playing in a team that's already won championships.
Right.
And that's going to be the next challenge for him, because certainly talent and ability, he's amazing. Now it's fitting into a team that just won the Champions League and making sure that you're still able to have the presence and the personality that he's shown at PSG.
It feels like when you add an asset like this to a team that has already won everything, the expectation
is
suddenly becomes
100%.
You have to win or win.
He's already had that expectation. No, but PSG with Messi, Neymar, he's already had that.
The difference
100%.
is he's going to Real Madrid that's just won the Champions League without him being there. They've won La Liga, they've done the double without him being there. And he is in that conversation for one of the best players in the world. He's going to probably the best stadium.
You guys are forgetting.
Best manager.
He's won a World Cup. He's been to a World Cup.
Okay, yes,
right.
that's fine.
That's fine.
But it adds more pressure going there.
Of his whole country on his shoulders for a long time.
Right.
Coming to Madrid, yes, the expectations are there to win and be better than what he's already done and has been.
So if he walks away without a Champions League from his time at Real Madrid, how do you think
it'll be a failure?
Charlie,
right, okay,
without a doubt.
Charlie, the pressure of one country
is different.
Is there, right? And most top players for their country, if they're the top player in that country, they feel that pressure. This is Real Madrid. There's way more fans of Real Madrid than there are of the French national team. And expectation-wise, I think is that much higher. I get your point, but it seems to me that he's embraced this from the very beginning. From Monaco, he goes to PSG. And that whole thing was a big surprise because he could have gone anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to win a Champions League for PSG and for what he considered his hometown club. Doing that is an amazing challenge. He didn't succeed. Now he goes to here, and the pressure is going to be huge.
All I'm saying is, we're talking about a player who scored a hat trick in a World Cup.
No, I understand, but when he won the World Cup, Charlie, when he won the World Cup, he was 18 years old. There wasn't super pressure on him. It was, this is the next superstar of football, maybe, but there wasn't the pressure to say, if he doesn't deliver a World Cup, he's not it.
What about the next one?
I still feel that he had experience already. So for me, I don't really think there's a massive amount of pressure because he was performing for his national side. When it goes to domestic now, it's a different thing because they tried to build a team around him in Paris Saint-Germain. They tried to build the Galacticos. It didn't work. Neymar, Messi leave. They said, okay, now it's your team. It still didn't work. Now he's going to a Real Madrid team without that real superstar, that recognised number 9, and they've just won it without him. So automatically, media, people, are going to be like, if you don't win the Champions League again next year, it's going to be seen as a failure.
Not necessarily next year or the one
at least
afterwards,
the next 2 years.
So let me tell you this before we break something down tactically about how Mbappé can fit into this Real Madrid. There's no other club in the world where Mbappé walks into the dressing room, sees everybody with 6 Champions League titles, or 1 or 2, him with 0, where he has to head down, humility, something to prove. This isn't Mbappe's Real Madrid.
How many World Cup trophies
he has to prove himself. But the World Cup...
I know, I just asked. How many?
They understand the stature of what Mbappé represents and having that World Cup. But he's not going into the French national team. He's going into the Real Madrid
100%.
locker room.
All I'm saying is there's going to be pressure, incredible amount of pressure for any player in the world. But if you're telling me he's going to walk in there and that pressure's going to get to him...
No, we're not.
No one's saying the pressure's going to get to him. We're saying analysing, he's going to be scrutinised because they just won the Champions League, which is what he wants. They just won it without him when no one thought they should win it. They weren't the best team.
It's undeniable that there's a lot of expectation.
I'm saying he actually enjoys that. And he wants that. He wants that pressure. That's why he's going there. Yeah, exactly. That's why he's making this decision. And he's capable of handling it. So it's just going to be interesting how it all plays out with where he fits in. Right.